Hey guys, this is Chris with C&M Aquatics. Welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can keep up with upcoming videos. We release new videos every week and it really helps the channel out and we appreciate it. So today I received my Hanna Salinity tester. It's a digital readout tester for testing the salinity in your saltwater aquarium, and it's got a built-in thermometer to test the temperature as well. So I have used traditionally the last 10-15 years these hydrometers, and they've worked pretty well for me, except I didn't do a good job of keeping this one clean and I didn't pay attention to it. So if you're using these, make sure you soak them in some white vinegar every now and then and keep them clean, because I checked with a second hydrometer and my salinity has been off. Mixing my salinity for water changes, this hydrometer, if my salinity was at 1.025, this hydrometer was reading around 1.018, 1.019, saying that the salt in the water was low, and I was adding more salt mix to the water and I was putting too much in, and I got my salinity messed up on a few aquariums. Luckily, I caught it and nothing was hurt, no coral suffered or anything, and I corrected the issue. So just a tip on that, keep up on your maintenance on your equipment. It's very important so that you get accurate readings. So I decided after that it was time to go to a digital readout system, and I'll use these hydrometers as a backup to this. So I ordered this off Amazon. It was $71 plus tax, and they had free Prime shipping, so I got it in about 2 days. It wasn't too bad. We'll open this up and see what we got. So it comes with the probe, the salinity tester, and you get calibration fluid packets and an instructional manual in here. So it comes with 4 salinity calibration packets, and I was a little leery about that. I didn't want to be paying for these things, but I found them online on Amazon. You can get these for about $1 a piece, so 12 bucks a year. You have a year's worth of calibration fluid, which isn't bad at all to keep it accurate. They say to only use these once, so you can't save them once you open them. You're supposed to use them once and throw the rest away after you calibrate. And it says to calibrate your tester once a month to keep it accurate. So we're going to go over how to calibrate this first. You have 2 buttons on your salinity tester. You have a power button and a calibrate button. We'll go ahead and power this on. It says 96% battery left. Okay. So our salinity probe's here for testing, and our temperature probe over here on the side. So to calibrate this, what it says to do, first get a paper towel, and then in this jar here, this cup, I've got RODI water. It says to use RODI water or purified water, and you want to dip the probe in, give it a few swirls. This is to rinse off the probes. After you rinse, it says to dry them off with a clean paper towel. After you do that, you hit the calibration button, and on the screen it'll show calibrate. Calibrate's blinking and it's ready to calibrate. You cut the top open on your calibration packet, and there's fluid in here. Slide the tester in. I took too long, got an error. So we're going to start over. We're going to turn the tester off and turn it back on. Power on. Calibrate. Slide it in the solution. Okay. It's recording. It has an hourglass here flashing, telling you that it's recording. And then when it's done, it's going to show store, and it's going to store the information in the tester. And this is calibrated to 35 parts per thousand. Okay, so we got the store. It's done flashing. Take it out of your solution. And the instructions say to rinse it in your RODI water again. And to dry it off with your paper towel. Now you don't have to calibrate this every time you use it. It recommends just once a month. Okay, so we're dry, we're calibrated, and it's ready to test. We'll go ahead and put our cover back on here. When I got this checker, it comes defaulted to parts per thousand is how it's reading. Now I'm going to show you how to change the setting because I'm used to specific gravity and the temperature was defaulted to Celsius, and I like reading Fahrenheit better. So how to change that: you got your battery compartment back here, you get a flat screwdriver, unlock it. There is a gasket on this cover here to keep water out from the battery compartment, and this is waterproof, so if you drop it in your tank, don't worry about it. It floats and it's fine. It's rated for that. So there's a little black button down here under the battery on the side. You probably can't see it on the camera, but get a pointy object. I'm using just a pocket knife here, and you're going to press that black button. Okay, and that puts it into program mode. So units I have set to specific gravity, but you can see you can change it to parts per thousand. You can change it to PSU and specific gravity. I want specific gravity, so when you find the one you want, hit the power button and it sets it. Then temperature, like I said, comes preset to Celsius. I want it on Fahrenheit right there. Press power button to store it. And then A off. What that is your automatic off on the unit, so if you leave it laying around and forget to turn it off, it'll shut off after a predetermined amount of time. And it'll do after 8 minutes, then it'll do after 60 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just leave that off, and hopefully I don't forget to turn this thing off or I'll kill the battery. Okay. So we are calibrated, we are set, and we are ready to test. I'm going to turn off the unit, put the battery cover back on, and it takes these little button batteries, CR2032 3 volt, which you can find those at Kroger, Lowe's, Home Depot, any place that really sells batteries. That's a very common size of battery, so it's not an issue to find. There we go. That is sealed and ready to go. So we'll go over here to one of the frag tanks and I will show you how to test with it. Okay, so we are calibrated. We are ready to test. We will turn the unit on. Okay. It's got our hourglass blinking up here in the corner saying that it's ready to test. So all you do, put the probe in the water, and the directions say to give it a couple of swirls to dislodge any air bubbles. And our hourglass is blinking on the left here. So we're going to hold it until that hourglass stops blinking so that the temperature rises and we get an accurate reading. So right now this aquarium is reading specific gravity 1.027, which is actually a little high. I like to keep them around 1.025. This is the one that I had the salinity issue with that I caught. so it looks like I need to bring it down just a little bit more, which I'm doing slowly over a few days here. It was up to 1.03, 1.031, which I'm glad I caught it. And our temperature reading is at 77.9. So after you're done testing, I've just got some RODI water here. The instructions say to rinse off the probes to get the salt off the electrodes before you put it away to store it. Just rinse it off and then dry it off with a paper towel and put the cap back on and you're ready to go. The instructional booklet that came with this said that the salinity reading can be off by 0.5 either direction, and the temperature can fluctuate between 1 degree in either direction as well. So this just read at 77.9. Now I'm just curious, I'm going to double check the temperature. I just got, like if you grill, a food thermometer. It's been cleaned and sanitized. I'm going to turn it on and see what temperature reading we get with this, just to double check the Hannah salinity tester. Let's put that probe in there and give it a second and see what we get. 77.7, 0.8. .3. So looks like we're off about 0.4 of a degree between the two thermometers, which if that's the case I'm fine with on temperature. That's pretty close. Yep, we're not moving anymore. So that's it, guys. This tester is pretty easy to use. Just calibrate it once a month. You keep it clean. I have 10 aquariums set up right now, growing corals in, and it's real nice to test one and just go wipe it off, go to the other one. I don't have to mess with the hydrometers and spilling water and keeping those clean. I'm going to keep the hydrometers as a backup, but so far I have been very happy with this tester. It's worked out pretty well, and I feel a lot more comfortable with my salinity because I'm using this when I'm mixing salt for my water changes. I'm using a hydrometer and this, so I'm getting two readings from two different devices just to be sure that my salinity is correct, and I feel a lot better about that. So one other note when mixing your salt water for water changes, you have to bring the water up to temperature before you test the salinity, because the water temperature changes your salinity reading, whether you're using one of these digital testers or a hydrometer. Bring your water up to where you keep it, use another heater or something. Heat it up to 78 degrees if that's what you keep your aquariums at, 79 degrees, whatever it is, and then check your salinity. And you should be warming your water up before you dump it into your aquariums anyway, especially if you're keeping LPS and SPS corals. You got a lot of acropora, monopora. You're shocking your coral if you're not heating your water up to temperature before you dump it in. And that's one of those things. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't do that. They just mix it in their buckets and throw it in their tanks, and that might be fine. They've been growing coral like that for years, but if I can do something to stress my corals even less and keep them happy, I'm going to do that. So just a little side note there. That's from my experience in the past. I've done it both ways, and the corals don't get distressed as bad or slime over as bad when doing your water changes. And I like to let my salt sit for at least a day. I'll mix it, let it sit, and I'll check it the next day, make sure it's on par there. Heat it up to temperature, do my water changes. Everybody seems to be happier that way. So I appreciate it, guys. I hope you liked the video. I will put a link to this Hannah checker down in the description. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. Thanks for watching, Until next time, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.